I cry, then I feel pain. Why do I suffer so much? I would love to feel your touch. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Baby, I don't know where to go. I feel so lost without you. Save me before I pass out. Save me before I pass out. Before I pass out.
It's our first debut mid-season review show. We got some exciting clips to look at. We hope you guys enjoy what we have coming for you. We have Panju, myself, Kamau, and Fnatic hosting things. We'll be talking about some of the top storylines as well, heading into the second half of the season. But we also, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about some of the looking at some of the best on-track action across the first 4 races of this season, right? We're talking about Singapore, Kota, Hungary, and Miami. We're going to be looking at the best battles, overtakes, and crashes across the main 5 tiers, and we're also going to be seeing some action from no assists. So we hope you guys enjoy what we have prepared for you. Before we take a little bit of a brief look at what's to come, how you guys feeling? Fnatic, I know you haven't taken a look at what we've got prepared with the videos and clips, but are you excited for the show today? What are your thoughts? How are you feeling?
Dude, I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's go.
Let's do it, Kamau. Yeah, you got any thoughts? You feeling excited? You ready? I know I'm a little nervous, but let's get the show on the road, right?
Man, let's get it spicy, man. Like we said, let's go.
Absolutely.
Don't wait for it. Let's go.
It's funny you mentioned that Kayla hasn't seen any of these clips. I think if there's one person who's probably seen damn near all of these moments, it's probably Kayla.
Yeah.
And which
I can do everything like not even verbatim, just like memorize. Like I remember this happened at this time.
I was here
Alright.
when this stuff happened.
Alright.
Yeah, I think I think it's pretty fun to finally get Kayla in here. Like honestly, just one thing I want to say, like Kayla, I'm stoked to have you finally on a live broadcast. This is really
Let's go,
cool.
baby.
So I'm very
I'm
stoked
ready
about
for
that.
the big stage.
Yep. Well, Midnight, hey, take it away. I'm on the back seat, everybody. Also, I do want to give some shout out to the Indy lovers. This is an IndyCar shirt because Indy 500 qualifying is this weekend. So if you guys like Indy stuff, go watch that insane stuff. Anyways, I'm done. Midnight.
Yes. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start things off with a quick, brief recap of the season so far. We're going to take a look at the combined team standings and the calendar. As my friend Punju said it last night, we're going to take a quick look at the league from 1,000-foot view. And here are the current combined team standings. Mercedes sits atop the throne with 379 points. And as you can see, they got quite a cushion between them and second place, with Alfa Romeo in second and Haas right behind them, just over 20 points behind them. Red Bull, Ferrari took a big drop, but you can see McLaren and Ferrari are tied at 262, and we also have AlphaTauri and Aston Martin tied at 222.
It's wildly tight. This is weird.
Right, exactly. I mean, if you look at those teams from Haas all the way down to Aston Martin, there's going to be a huge battle for that third place spot. And I know nuts. As a team member of Team Haas, we're pushing for for place 1, and Mercedes, we're just hoping for a lot of drama, and we're going to steal some more wins from you guys. So.
We all need Mercedes to have some structure mistakes.
Work on top.
Hey, please just start crashing into each other. Like whatever you guys need to do to make it happen is fine with me. Totally fine, you know. But please just make it happen quickly, because we're a little far down. I also want to say I think this is the first time in a hot minute that we have 4 people in the media box, all from different teams. I just realized that.
Oh yeah!
Holy smokes! So we got different team representation. So obviously, Midnight, you're Haas. I'm on McLaren. Kamau, how are you feeling right now with where Ferrari's sitting?
Right, to be honest, we had a good start, but I guess this past 2 weeks we've been like having bad luck and messing around too much. And I guess today we got a kick in the back from our TP, so we better start getting some point. Otherwise, I'm sure somebody gonna get
gonna get roasted. Oh man, yeah. I've been curious what Yellow's like as a team principal when the team is down. So that's interesting to know.
Man, he is something because he's great. Like literally, he's really great. He's putting down so much work in terms of us giving us the right setup and even advice and strategy wise. But sometimes I guess us drivers just do some silly mistake. You know, when you are in the heat of the race and stuff like that, you get some DNF. Like for example, last weekend I took out my teammate. Basically, we were like P2 and P4, and I took him out. So that's something like on us, and I feel for that, and we need to do a better job as a driver from now on, because we only have 4 races left, and we need to start at least not DNF, DNF for whatever. Do not DNF from now on. At the moment.
That's a fair
point.
point.
As many points as possible, especially tier 5. I feel that.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. I think the rest of the season is gonna be good for everybody. But speaking of the rest of the season, I think we should look at the calendar, shouldn't we?
Let's do it. Let's see what races we have left on the calendar. We have 4 races left, starting with Imola this Sunday. Last weekend was Portugal. If you want to go back and watch that action or any of the prior weeks, they're all on our YouTube page. You can go back and watch it. You can watch it at 2 times speed. Hell, even if you want to get through it all fast. But show us some love. We got Spain coming up as the first race of June, then Abu Dhabi and Canada. Round things out
baby.
before. I know I'm going to be missing that race. That's my birthday weekend. So
Which one?
Abu Dhabi.
Oh, okay.
Canada
So
scares me, bro. Canada scares me.
I was gonna, I was gonna ask what tracks is everybody looking the most forward to? For me, it's the next 4 weeks combined. I'm good at all of them. So epic. I hope you're in chat. I'm coming for you.
I like Spain. And Abu Dhabi for some reason, like I find myself like I feel like I'm just very average at the game, but I'm just pretty quick on Abu Dhabi. Like I don't know what it is about the track. I just seem to be good at it. So I'll be looking forward to that weekend, I think, out of the 4 remaining.
I don't know if Midnight you do remember. I guess last season our first real fight was in Spain, and me, you, and your team. That was epic, and I think I have a decent pace in Abu Dhabi because I've been racing it for some reason. But yeah, except Canada should be fine for the rest. Spain and Abu Dhabi, I think. I hope.
Imola's not getting any love, and I have yet to practice for it, and I can tell you I'm going to be putting a lot of practice. I'm going to be turning a lot of laps over the next 24 hours or so, and that's honestly the race I'm looking forward to. I think just looking at the timetables and or time trials, I should say, I think I'm pretty up there with the rest of Tier 5, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm feeling confident, and I'm looking forward to the race this Sunday.
Yeah,
I just want Pogs to do his rain dance. Pogs, Jim, you guys, if you're here, do your rain dance, please, guys. Please, I'm begging.
Yeah, so actually, speaking of those 2 guys, because obviously Tier 4, I think now's a good moment for us to talk about the fact that Tier 4 has somehow had the least amount of safety cars. And Kayla, I need your perspective on this. What the heck is happening, dude?
Dude, I was talking to Pogs about the other day. Like, I don't understand how they went from constantly murdering each other to all of a sudden everyone's being clean. Like, you might have like one incident, like maybe in the first like lap or 2, and then maybe a VSC would come out, and then after that, everyone just keeps on the track. I'm like, what happened? What happened to these guys? They just, but at the same time, it's it's good to have it clean, right? We don't really want to have, at least I think a lot of people don't like having like 5-lap shootouts at the end of a race, when everything is pretty set in stone, especially if you're already towards the front and you're like, okay, I've got good pace, I'm doing a good job taking care of my tires, whatever, and then you're like, oh, safety car, last 5 laps, you're like, I gotta do it all over again, kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's been an interesting like change, I guess, going from constantly having to go under safety car to actually being able to just race pretty much the whole time. I think Portugal was the only time we had like 2, I think.
Yeah, it seemed to be a lot. I mean, comparatively.
Yeah. And then before that, like we had rain races as well, and I was surprised that people weren't hitting each other all the time, and yeah, it was a very, very interesting change this season. Also.
Yeah, I needed to ask you about that. I've been curious your perspective on it. It's weird.
Yeah, I know how much it hurts not getting those safety cars, being at the back of the pack, and
that's what we call. So a lot of people call that a personal problem. I call that a Pogs problem.
Oh man, right? You just got to be better. No spins. Don't spin. All right.
Exactly.
So we've gone and taken a look at the calendar and what we've got for the rest of the season. But as we mentioned, we've got some clips in store for you. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the top battles across the first 4 races here right now. So yeah, Punju, hit it, please.
Let's check these out.
Here we go then. 2, 3.
Okay, there it is. Yep. I want to make sure the sound was on for you guys. This, I remember watching this one. This was brutal. I think that, I don't know how J-Jo came out of this one alive, but I also thought he was going to get the better of him in a different fashion. I thought this was going to go a little bit differently than it did. I thought he was actually going to get a side-by-side action right there for that turn 3, but ended up getting through ahead. Do you remember this one, Midnight?
Oh man, that one or this one right here, the Kermit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we were watching this, or I was watching this, getting prepared for the tier 1 race. I mean, Singapore just caused a lot of cars to be backed up, and Kermit. I mean, I don't. We haven't seen a lot from Landsharky much late, but Kermit, he's always been kind of like that middle, top of the middle pack of the driver, and as you can see, he gets in a really nice battle here with Landsharky and or JBTC, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What I've noticed about Kermit, he's really good about squeezing every single bit of the track. And speaking of squeezing every bit of the track, this one was a good one too. This was NA. Yeah, come out. Remember watching this one? Did you watch the NA races?
Yep. I do remember. Exactly. That was just
We got some exciting. Yeah, this was Wiffles making a really nice move too, putting some big pressure up on Pete up ahead of him.
Just for
Epic
Pete to
wins.
spin. Shame.
Just for Pete to spin. Yep, exactly right here. A big spin, and then gets himself taken out. What I was curious about is how the other car that hit him didn't get taken out. I think it was Sako, right?
Sako, yeah, Sako clattered him like.
I don't know how he lived for that.
Jesus.
I have no idea how he lived for that. That was wild. But then this one was great too. Getting a fun clip.
this one.
Yep,
This
come
one was
out.
great.
You like this one, huh?
This one was like a fight after this. Even on our chat, they were still talking about it. This battle between Welshi and Fitz. This was like the first race, and I think Midnight ending up winning it the weirdest thing of everything.
Yep.
Because these two were fighting so much that they ending up not winning it at all. But that was so funny.
Midnight, you were in like 5th
Oh
when
my
that
gosh.
happened, and then you got up to 2nd.
That just changed the whole race.
Yeah,
because of that.
I was
leading this race.
I was
Yep.
just exhausted.
My goodness.
Hey, it worked out in your favor. So it matters, right? And then I remember this one.
Yeah,
This was
like I had a-
crazy. Oh. So I'm glad that you included something from this Singapore race from Tier 1. Because although it was probably one of the most chaotic moments of all of Tier 1 in Moose Racing League history, this was the guy that deserved the highlights because Yellow was flying.
Traffic right there, man.
How do you think he did this
We
so
got more of
efficiently?
this too.
I think he was like whatchamacallit. Wasn't he leading before? Like wasn't or something like he was close to the front and the safety car came out and so when he pit he was thinking, dang, I just gotta go for it. I just full send.
Yep.
I mean,
And
those
there's
softs paid off for him.
that they did. They got him a few positions back. Oh yeah, and that move right there was insane. Getting him before the bridge.
Oh my gosh.
Midnight, hearing
Yep.
you scream about that just set me off the cliff, dude. Oh, that was
Dude.
funny. That one was great.
You gotta excitement and rise to the occasions.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Okay.
That was wild.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
Out of those
That was
clips,
very good.
which one do you guys think is your favorite?
Oh, the Yellow Snowman last one. That was the best.
Yeah.
think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
for
think you
sure.
got some team
Yeah.
principal bias on that one. I don't know.
You remember?
I'm gonna come in
Even
biased
Midnight.
here as well
Yeah.
because I'm gonna say the one where I won.
The Welchie one. Yep. Not surprised.
Where you got backed up into. Can't park there, sir.
Yeah, that one was I think probably the most chaotic out of them was definitely that one, which is surprising for me to say because obviously the tier 1 was definitely chaotic, but I think the one in tier 5 was a little bit more chaotic overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was wild. Hey,
we
speaking
got
of
we got
what were you gonna say, Midnight?
yeah. I was gonna say we got more Singapore action and clips coming at you, and tier 1 in Singapore too. So
Oh boy.
everyone just wait up and hold on for that. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about now and kind of transition over to a little table talk about tier 4 and tier 5. Let's kick it off with tier 5. All right, this tier that Kamau and myself are in. We're in the thick of it. I mean, tier 5 has had a different winner across the finish line each and every race, these first 5 races. Only 6 points separate first from fourth in the Drivers' Championship.
Wow.
And the safety car fiasco in Hungary definitely added to all of this drama in Tier 5 and how close things are. And it really feels like it's too close to call. And all 10 drivers, the top 10 drivers in the championship feel like there's a chance to win the title in Tier 5. It's pretty exciting. I'm busting my butt every week, even though I haven't put in any practice as I've been prepping for this amazing show. I'm excited for Imola, and I'm expecting some big things from myself. I know what I did last season in Imola, and I took out my teammate, and I'm looking forward to not doing that this time around.
Who was that you took out?
But-
Go ahead and name them by names, please. Make them happy.
Oh,
Matt, watch out. Matt, watch out.
well, she knows who he is. Kamau, I mean, how are you feeling in the Tier 5 battle overall? I know you've had, what, 1 or 2 DNFs so far, but you're still in the thick of it, right? You've got around 30 points or so. It feels like you're right there, right? If you seize one win, you're literally going to be in the top 3.
So basically, my season 5 so far, I only finished one race, and that race I won it. The only race I finished, I won
Okay.
it. So
Is that
basically,
seriously your results so far this season?
He's got 32 points, I think.
Yeah, but there's one I did the 90% of the race, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hungarian one, the one in Hungary, I guess that was me in the first corner. Every time I start the first row, I don't go past the first corner. That's just how crazy that is. Every time I start on the first row, at turn 1, I get hit or DNF. So that's how crazy. But there is like this season, I don't think there is anybody who can tell right now this guy is gonna have it. Like last year with Echo Alex and Terpshaw and going for those people who are in Tier 4 now. With us, you can tell everybody is quick, and every single weekend people getting quicker and quicker. Like
Right.
I'm seeing some people bouncy. Like those people, they are not on the top, but I tell you, if they are behind you, man, you're gonna sweep all track because they're gonna be stick to you like crazy. I'm not talking about what Welshie. I'm talking about Knights who've been like having an amazing result so far, and even Jamerson who has been. Midnight, I'm not going to talk about you because you, man, you are the mastermind of not DNFing, and that's crazy. I don't know how you do it. I'm sending you a DM asking you how you do for not DNFing because I get that much. And I have my teammate as well who is in the thick of it. So all Tier 5, I'm telling you, it's like a mixture of every people, and I think the people who are going to DNF less going to win it all.
Right.
Basically.
I think you're probably right. As a happy spectator, I'm good to just watch it. I mean, like every single week I do look at the team standings, or the individual tier standings, but I will be, 100% honest. I definitely pay a little bit more attention to, tier 1 through 3. And so I didn't even realize just how insanely close those top 4 is that you guys mentioned, that it was this little 6-point difference. That is, I think, the second closest gap we ever had in a top 4. Which means that I'm slightly jumping ahead of myself with the tier 1 stuff, but this season is by far the most competitive season we've ever had, top to bottom. And it is wicked cool to just watch you guys whenever you guys are racing. Like, tier 5 has always had this weird moniker of being the Carnage tier, and I disagree at this point. I think there's a hilariously large amount of talent. And yeah, just watching you guys fight it every single week that's intoxicating for me. So yeah,
because the whole tables, they're all close to each other. Like you said, the top 4 are close. Even the midfield from 5th, I think Bouncy's got 34, and then going down to Fitz in 11th is at 24. So it's basically like Kamau said, whoever finishes the race, whoever maximizes those amount of points is gonna give them big boosts for sure. So
to give you an idea of just how close it still is, technically by proper maths, Bugata, who's sitting in 9th place, could win the next race and end up in first place of the championship.
Yeah.
Technically, if the next 8 people in front of him all DNF, of course, minus a few of them. But yeah, it's literally that close. That 9th place is just 26 points away, or 25 points away from the lead. Like, that's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you throw Bugota's name in there because you're the McLaren team
McLaren,
principal.
He's my goat. He's my goat. He's my goat.
All right. Well, moving on to tier 4, we've got Mr. Pete atop the driver championship. He has helped to push Aston Martin to a 9-point lead in the constructors championship. He's got a 12-point gap between him and Gwenfro. Echo Alex, another name. from tier 5 last season. He's only 3 points behind Gwenfro with 63 points. So it's kind of a bit squished there as well in tier 4. Things are getting interesting. Pete saying, I don't want to win in the tier 4 chat. Okay, Pete. Okay. Yeah, cap. So it looks like we know these 3 drivers are somewhat to pay attention to at these last 4 races of the season, and though we might get some surprises as maybe a new winner pops up. I think these guys are pretty secure in their spots in terms of fighting it out for the title. And I'm going to throw it back over to you, Fnatic, and ask. I mean, you've been driving in the thick of this. You've been seeing how tough it is just to stay consistent in the tier 4 race. I mean, what have you seen? What surprised you out on track this season so far?
Besides the lack of safety cars, it's just been, I don't know, it's been nice. Like I said, like not having to do that constant stop start all the time, which kind of throws you off your bit of rhythm. And that's what I'm that type of person. I don't play the game too much, so I don't do particularly well in qualifying. That's just not my strengths. It's finding my rhythm in the race. So if I'm constantly having to stop start for a safety car, it throws me off, and then I have to redo it. So I start missing apexes and making mistakes, things like that. So I like to have that kind of constant flow, which we've been having for the past couple races besides the last one. So it's been good, but yeah, it's just been really close, because like even like when you look at the table, like the points wise, I feel like everyone's pretty close pace wise as well. Like you have some outliers like when it comes to qualifying, but when it comes to the actual race pace itself, there's like the front guys, they're all still pretty like the top 10 are all pretty close to each other. And then like let's say like for example Rage Quit gets hit in the first corner or something like that, and he's at the back. He's going to have the pace to come back up and catch up to everybody else as well. You know what I mean? So it's all still relatively close with that. So, but it's going to be a dogfight to the end, I think, because like for me, I was in 13th in the table. And then after the Portugal race, I jumped up to 9th. So it's really, it's all really close there too. So, and then midfield battle as well.
Yeah. And also a tier that I definitely observed quite a bit. I'm always watching it while I'm doing my, warm-ups before I start tier 3. And I think that this is one of those tiers where it's still going to come down to the last round, but it'll probably be that 3-horse battle that we see at the very top right here. I mean, I could obviously be wrong, and we could have someone like Jim, Edge, sign on, anybody really. Kayla, you definitely could still come back because it's still 4 rounds to go, and you're only effectively 2 wins out from getting back to the top. So, and you have some weird magnetic attraction to wins off of ridiculous situations. So it's definitely not over at all. But I think it's probably going to be a 3 or 4 horse battle at the very end.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, especially at the beginning of the season, they really were sleeping on Jim, just raged for sure. And I was like, why is no one thinking that Jim's going to do well? Like, Jim was fast in tier 3 too. Like, he didn't just he's slow. Like, no, he's really good. He's a nice guy. He's a great driver. So I think don't sleep on him yet still. He's only in 5th, and he's 48, and then Pete's at 78. So anything can happen. So I'd say keep tier 4. So
yeah. Well, Midnight, do you have any other thoughts on tier 4?
Tier 4, I mean, I'm just looking at the Drivers' Championship. It's I mean, things look pretty spread out. I would have to say stick with my gut there and like what you're saying, those top 3. I feel like they're definitely going to have pace each and every week. They've shown race pace, and my teammate Gwenfro, he was riding a win for a long time in Miami. He has yet to come away with a win in tier 4, and he had 100%. He let me know, he shared in the team chat, he had 100% podium finish in his MRL career up until last week in Hungary or Portugal. Excuse me.
Yeah, because I think he crashed out in Portugal. So that's why it's like the same thing as with the tier 5 guys. It's who's gonna finish.
That's a crazy
not make those mistakes.
I don't know anybody that. And how long has he been here now at this point? Like a season and a half?
Right, a season and a half. Yeah.
That's crazy,
killing
dude.
it. He's been killing it.
I think that's probably the best record of consistency that we've ever had, quite possibly.
Right.
I'd have to check back at the timetables, but he might have the best record of consistency that we've ever had. So, wow.
He showed dominance dominance in tier 5 and he's showing it in tier 4, looking to make another step up and graduate, you know, get what was it, relegated or not, or promoted, excuse me, up in tier 3 even next season. So yeah, he'll be an interesting driver to keep an eye on as the season goes on. But now we got some more clips for you guys from the first 4 races. We're going to be taking a look at some of the best and top overtakes. We got 6 of them here for you all. Punju, take it away.
We got a big one this time around. Okay. Oh, yes. There are some really good ones in here. This was a while. Yeah. Oh, man. I remember listening to him as he did this. Oh, man. Junior, he was just like, you can see that face. He's hard focused. When he gets into focus mode, it's the funniest thing in the world. But he sees all 3 of us having a hardcore battle. I end up getting into like a thorough incident in this moment. He's like, all right, you guys have fun. I'm out of here. And just freezes us. Totally freezes us.
You editing this too, I heard you say, what's happening? And he was just like, triple overtake!
Yeah, that was brutal. And then this is the best start I think I've seen all season long. That launch right there. When he started 16th, he's already in 12th before he even just turned 1. Finds the gap perfectly. Do that. And then just
There's a lot of carnage up front, but I mean, he gets a little bit of help, but still, it's a hell of a jump.
And he was super confident on the brakes there, to be honest. At least me personally, I would have been a lot more careful because that would have been so scary.
Now, moments like this, where Scruffy's about to have a crazy moment, this is why Mercedes is, unfortunately, leading the championship. Because he's good.
Let's go, Scruffy.
Running
This was insane. I mean, you saw him just fly by.
I thought I had covered him off, but I was like, oh, crap, I haven't fully covered it. Before it was too late before I realized, like, oh, I need to move more to the left. And he was there, and he just took it. Yeah. And this makes sense. We're back to Yellow Snowman.
Yep.
I'm not surprised that he got a double fit on this one. Kayla, were you watching this one live?
Yeah, I was.
So when you saw him do
I was
this...
Because I remember watching his stream on my other monitor as well, because it's the same thing. We were talking about the concentration face.
Yeah,
his facial expressions are so funny to me.
He's just like, oh my god. now he releases a breath of fresh air. Wow.
Gonna get this done.
Wasn't happy with it either.
I know, right?
You look at his face. He's just like, oh god.
he was still mad about how the whole race had gone.
Gonna have to make a move.
This was crazy. This was so wild. I think this is probably the biggest upset steal of the season. So this is
oh my gosh, I didn't think he was gonna make it.
Yeah, me neither. I
Insane.
thought Andy was gonna be able to hold it.
Yeah, Midnight, you had the pleasure of getting to commentate this one too. Were you surprised that he actually stole it?
And he's gonna get the
I was. I didn't think the straight, that back straight was long enough. I mean, you can hear it in my reaction. And he's my teammate too, so I was like, oh my gosh, it was. I think Andy just left him a little bit much room.
Yeah, he also got
oh my god, I'm gone.
Mega for him.
Yes.
This was also Braided Axe's probably best race I've seen him do in a hot minute. I mean, he was always really good in tier 2.
Yes.
But this was crazy. Look at him just noticing the carnage. He decides to slow down. That was the smart part right there. He's like, all right, I can brake check. Like that. Everybody in tier 1, take notes. You can check up. All right. You don't have to power through incidents. You can slow down. And look what happened.
Absolutely freaking out.
Ping pong going on at the front.
No, he goes to. I made a mistake. He goes to first eventually.
Oh yeah, he does. He doesn't get Giants fan, doesn't he? Which that's a rare mistake from Giants fan, but he does grab him. Giants fan looked good that race, in qualifying at least, but then once the race came out, like it just started evolving. This was insane. This is so brave to go too wide here, but fun fact, you can cut over this left curb like crazy. He actually didn't even cut it as much as you need to. You can cut over it even
I'm in
more,
first.
which I learned from Giants fan, which is funny that he then got that line stolen. That was
one hell of a
What a
drive.
beauty.
That's crazy.
That was a great race. That was super fun. Even though it was
That was
quite
spicy.
carnagey and a bit of a rough start of the season, it was also a great start to the season. So, yeah, I love that.
No, most definitely. So we've got overtakes to come in a little bit, but we still got a little bit more storylines to talk in tier 3 and tier 2. And just to start things off, when I was asking some of the commentators for some storylines, Yellow Snowman titled the championship battle in tier 3 as the friendliest title fight ever between Punju and Epic Wins. It's pretty tight. There's only 9 points separating them, and it's like they've never seen each other on track. And Yellow Snowman thought it's pretty damn hilarious.
Yep.
But don't count Drunken Shamrock out. He's quietly sitting in second with 4 podium finishes across the first 5 races and down 6 points from epic wins. So again, don't count him out. He's right there, right ahead, just barely ahead of Punju. Yeah. I mean, how have you've had a really strong push? Oh yeah, and you've had a strong push the last 2 races, except for that one that you missed. Yeah, how are you feeling overall?
I mean, missing Portugal sucked for sure when it came to that championship shot, but I mean, like I said at the beginning, like epic wins, he's got nothing coming to him, man. Like I feel hilariously good about these last 4 races. Like I could not have asked for a better calendar. I got super lucky when we spun it, and I'm just riding that luck right now. And I'm happy to say, like, when I'm lucky, and I definitely am when it comes to the calendar. I think I've been putting in the work with the racing. I've been quite blessed by doing a lot of these 100% races beforehand, which has really helped me practice. I think that's right. I think it's the biggest thing. That's the reason why I'm actually doing well for the first time in a long time.
I need to do that. Shoot.
Yeah, it's helped a lot. I mean, my drought of wins was before this season. I got 1 on the final day at Imola. And then before that, it had been a year and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you powering through, man. Let's go.
So for all those people that are in the chat that say, I get so unlucky, I should just quit. Because I think I got you beat on that unluck. And look what I'm doing right now. Still right here. Still racing. Still having a good smile. Because I need to smile off the pain. So that's I think it's gonna be really fun. You're right. Drunken Shamrock is a sneaky fellow. Just getting himself up to second place, but I know my pace against Drunken Shamrock. We're very, very close with each other. And some days I'll edge him out. Some days he'll edge me out. When it comes to the tight battling, I feel like he's actually better. When it comes to the outright pace, I feel like I might have him beat. So it just depends on the track.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the scores or just the Drivers' Championship right now. There's one guy who I see here sitting with 25 points process. He's been atop and leading a few of these races in Tier 3, and there's been some questionable strategy calls and just some mistakes that he's made, and that's either caught him out and not finishing, or just down in 13th place. As we saw in Singapore. So I think, and Jordan even right behind him with 24 points. Like, there's some really good drivers in here. And Ducati surprisingly is down in the middle of the pack with only 18 points as well.
That one surprises me quite a bit. That Ducati is literally in 11th place. I mean, a reserve is placed over him. That's weird. Ducati I know to always be fast. Obviously, I just did that Nürburgring 24-hour with him. He's good. He's quick. Especially once he dials into a race, that back half of race, he's disgustingly fast. So,
has he been getting caught up in like incidences or something?
Yeah,
or like tangles, I guess, with people that not really having to do with like penalties and things like that.
Correct. He's pretty low penalty. Am I correct on that one?
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. I was gonna say, I think you might just getting tangled with people, and then just kind of maybe then I'm not going to speak for him, but maybe it just kind of affects the mental at the same time. You just kind of get frustrated in the race, which then doesn't help you when you need to just kind of keep pushing through. So
you probably see him in the team chat. What are you thinking?
I think like for example Miami, I think he got his wheel disconnected at the start, so he just didn't even race at all. And I think sometimes he's quick, and sometimes he's quicker from some guys, and you see he just tried to force the move, try to dive in. For example, last weekend on Portugal, that's what he took out. But I guess he's trying to do so much good, so much better, and sometimes that may have the worst effect. And I think for you, Punjo Aldwell, this weekend, Epic won't be racing.
I know.
So okay, you're gonna now be even in terms of how many races guy got.
Yeah, I'm chasing the lead this weekend. That's my goal.
You better not DNF.
No, come on. Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Wow.
Oh. Shots fired.
Brutal. That's fair. Fair game. Can't say it's not. Wow. Well, Midnight, what do you think when it comes to the rest of the season with tier 3?
Tier 3, I mean, I feel like if you and Epic Wins is on a downward trend, you're kind of going there on the upward trend. We're taking that break last week, but I mean, there's just so many of those names in the middle of the pack that I'm like, I think we could see a surprise. Maybe Ducati picks it up and wins out the rest of the season. Who knows?
You never know.
Right? That something like that can happen and really shake things up. So I think tier 3, even though you and Epic Wins seem to be convincingly running away with the championship battle, I think things have a chance to get interesting.
They do.
And with that being said, let's go ahead and cover the tier 2 storylines now. And really, this is a one-man race here. Andy and Mercedes is just running away with the championships, both the drivers and constructors in tier 2. If J-Joe can find some more consistency in a race and battle for the drivers' championship, it might get a little bit more interesting, but he's got 35 points separating
It's just
him and
close
Andy.
everywhere else except for Andy running away.
There's literally a 3-way tie between 5th through 7th, and then a 2-way tie for 8th and 9th. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All the points are being stolen by Andy right now. And it's funny that this is 2 seasons in a row that tier 2 is the runaway season.
Yeah.
When everybody keeps looking at tier 2 and we think, oh, it's going to be so close. Like, we're in the draft room. We're like, oh, this is going to be like the closest tier 2 we've ever seen. And then, no, not even slightly.
I mean,
it's so off.
If we take Andy out of there, it's close, right? But that was the thing, too.
I guess you're right. But I mean, same thing last season. Like, if we were to
crop the image.
I mean, that's the same thing that happened last season. You know, if we would have just taken out both the Red Bulls, actually, we would have had a close season. So, oh man, it's both of them though. Gosh, you guys are so good. Yeah, it's a weird one this season, for sure.
Yeah.
With Andy, I mean, he does have this crazy lead in tier 2. Now, if we look at that maths, if his lead was not quite that good, that would squish up the combined constructor standings like crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's carrying Mercedes.
Super duper.
Now, here's a question. Kayla, I'm going to ask you this. You know Andy real well. Do you think he's going to crumble under that pressure of knowing that he is backpack?
I don't think so. The guy's just fast as hell. Like, honestly, it's crazy. I think he just has to just keep doing what he's doing, and I think he's got it secured in the bag, to be honest.
Can you get in his head a little bit for us, though?
Yeah, please.
No, I told him, I was like, I'm cheering you on, man, in the sideline. I was like, me and the dog, I'm lifting our arms up, waving them around. Let's go.
I love it.
Go, Andy, go.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job. I mean, it's always fun to feel like you're the guy for your team, and Andy definitely is the guy for Mercedes team. No hate on any of the other Mercedes drivers, but he's been a class of his own. So
yeah, he's just been on a tear, because even he reserved a couple races last season towards the end, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and he was pretty quick in those as well. So
yeah, he was a lights out success from day one. Now, Kamal, I mean, looking at these standings, I don't happen to see a single Ferrari in the top 10 for tier 2. I mean, I can't talk. I don't see a McLaren either, right? But I don't see a Ferrari up there. So that being said, is that a point of contention within the Ferrari garage?
Oh, but it is. Like, I'm telling you, today we get our back kicked today about TP, especially tier 2 and tier 4 driver, because that's the 2 tier that we are dead last. Mm-hmm. So today we hear him. We heard him today, and I think, to be honest, we have mode, but mode it is not playing the game right now that much, because he's more like in racing and stuff like that. And we got also the GB, and you guys know GB right now sometimes. And like, to be honest, these guys on tier 2, they are too quick. Like Fake Man even has reserved his
crazy
too quick. Like, I think sometimes these people are like tier 1 space, to be honest.
I mean, that's the hardest part about tier 2 is I feel like the higher up you go, that tier 3, tier 2, tier 1, the gaps between the three of them have just shrunk significantly, especially that tier 2 to tier 1. It's pretty hard to distinguish between the two. And the top 10 of tier 1 are definitely a tier above their own. They are a significant difference. But then the bottom 10 of tier 1 mixed with basically all of tier 2 is like all very close. And it's tough, man. I mean, like, we've got 2 reserves in the top 10 for tier 2. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
They're pretty fast.
They're pretty fast.
Yeah.
Apparently, Mr. Iron Boogs wants a little shout out. You're in 13th. Pick it up, friend. Pick it up, man. Come on, let's go.
There we
Yeah.
go.
16 points. I
Get the
want to see.
roast.
I want to see a top 10 finish. Let's go.
You and Chile aren't really doing much for Team Williams. All right.
Oh, brutal. It's because they have that separated screen. All right, give them a break. Give them a break.
Okay.
He said, bro.
Yeah, it's all about that. It's all about separated screen. That's funny.
All
What's
right.
Yeah, what's going on?
How do you feel about me, the team McLaren and the team Ferrari not doing so well? Is it a draft that you guys miss, or what do you guys think?
Yeah, so my draft strategy for 2 seasons in a row has been prioritize 3 through 5. Tier 3 through 5. And then just hope I get lucky with tier 2 and tier 1. Last season, I definitely did get lucky, especially in tier 1. And I got decently lucky in tier 2. But this season, like, they've been getting caught up in just some unfortunate incidents consistently. I got really lucky with tier 1 too this season, honestly. Like, I seriously, having Sebi and now Toast is ridiculously lucky. But neither here nor there. That's the next tier up. It's just tough. Like, I watch B Cole's races especially, and dude, he is just consistently having these drivers that are so hilariously aggressive, just pummel him left and right in just the right ways to where they're not racing incidents and where they're not reportable, but enough to the point that he's getting, beat out by these guys. And it's so tough to watch because it's like not his fault. Like, you can see that these guys are just so aggressive in just the right ways. And same thing to now J Money, which is really funny to me that he changed his name. But yeah, I mean, like, Atmos is like just really, he's also been getting kind of unlucky with those kinds of moments. I think he's had a couple more self-inflicted mistakes, but not super crazy. But he's had to miss some races, And so I think that the rest of the season, it's still, we're only halfway. So I think there's still more room to go. But it's just been one of those things where they're just getting relatively unlucky in the positions they're at.
So what did you tell to them? Did you do like a yellow talk? Hey guys, you need to pick it up, or what?
Nope. I keep it very lackadaisical. I mean, Kayla's been a team member of mine before. I'm just like just pure positive encouragement. There are moments where stuff goes wrong, and that's all right. We all have those moments. I get stuff wrong frequently, so I am not one to judge. And I believe in the policy of not just a servant leader, but also a player leader. And if I'm not putting up points, like last season, that was probably the hardest thing for me, was like I wasn't putting up. This season, I feel like I'm putting up, and so now I feel like I can put the encouragement in a positive way and make it mean a little bit more. But that's always been my philosophy. It's just positive encouragement. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, I think they've got
You
it.
must always provide positive encouragement to your drivers.
All right, Toto.
Is that a direct quote from him? I think he may have actually said that at some point.
I don't know.
Even though
I'm
he's
just
actually the
trying to
scariest
be-
man of all time.
He's scary, but he is very intellectual, and I feel
Oh,
like yes, he
sure.
would be 100% feeling you, Punju, and trying to encourage his drivers.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Actually, I heard news. Is it for sure true? Toto Wolff is now, with all of his investments, a billionaire.
Yes, yeah, I
That's
saw that
wild.
headline recently. Mhm.
It's wild.
Oh, okay.
Wild. Yep.
Can you lend me like $100? That'd be nice.
I think you might be able to. Yeah. I was hoping I was going to get some extra good McLaren luck. Just a little fun fact. Right before this season started, literally the week before the season started, I actually got to talk to the the vice chairman of McLaren F1 team. And,
Whoa.
Cool.
and yeah, unfortunately it did not translate into full luck, but, it's translated into some luck. So maybe that's been part of it. But, these team principals, some of them are really scary, like Toto, but I also have a hot take. I think Toto's the sexiest one of them all too. So
Oh,
that's the real truth, honestly.
Duh.
I see no lies.
Ah.
All right. Well, should we finally take a look at the nastiest crashes from these
yes.
first half of the season?
Is it just a tier 1 Singapore video? Is it just the full 50 minutes, or?
I mean, I think they're half of them. Yeah.
All right, let's check this thing out.
On here
Oh yes, I remember this one.
We were mentioning this earlier.
Yeah.
Talking about tier 3.
Oh, Ducati
Yeah.
has a
This
terrible
is brutal.
start.
There it
Oh
is.
my god! I don't think he was speeding.
There's that
That's
one.
A multiple DNFs.
Bugatti.
Manages to hold on
Yeah,
to the lead.
that was
Second place.
a brutal one. It was actually tier 3. Yeah, that was rough. I'm not exactly sure what happened. That was wild. Oh, yep. I'm glad we put this one in here. I thought it was going to be wicked, but then
I don't know about that
Oh,
one.
boy.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's bumping on
He
the
smacked,
outside.
smacked,
He's
smacked.
a gamer. And he's gonna
and that
what's
was
going
that was the
on?
biggest
What's
mistake
going
right
on
there.
with Xylo? This is too much, man. Xylo needs to get a
Yeah,
little
that was
bit more
wild.
patient.
And
But Sebi's getting collided now with Yellowstone.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember watching
Kills my guy.
it live as well. I was like, oh my, what is going on? It was just
20 seconds
crazy.
for Sebi?
yeah, and look,
Sebi's
and,
second middle of the
like,
road.
there's nowhere that Sebi can go, right? Like,
yeah.
oh
He
yes,
does not. He stays
we got a
behind
Minico
Red.
one. Heck yeah, Minico loves these.
Yeah.
Yep, he loves these.
Whoa, 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 what's that right here? Oh,
We were right
no.
on there with it.
He
Yeah.
avoids Carnage, avoids, and
Oh,
then
getting cracked. That was
Get you
sketchy.
one, yep. You're up, yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
that was just
gosh.
Sketchable getting loose too, if I recall correctly. He didn't even get tapped.
yeah.
Just wrong place, wrong time.
Rapok gets a decent start. I think Junior Par might have come out of nowhere.
Just like, oh, this.
Rapok's gonna hold up a seat from behind there. We're gonna be safe.
This-
behind.
Oh gosh.
Pass.
I'm getting
Oh,
flashbacks.
JT
Somebody's
did.
watching
Yep.
it's just going, oh
And he's
no,
out.
it's so
He's out.
sad.
Wow.
McLaren hurts for
Big
you,
foul
doesn't
on
it?
that turn.
After
Once we saw that, it was
Junior
initiated
had
by
put it
JT.
on an insane lap. Yeah, that's how it finishes. That's brutal.
He does go with him.
I
That
remember
was
watching
looking to
this
be a
one.
good race.
I remember his reaction.
Oh,
This
this
was-
was horrible.
I was just
How?
thinking in my head was just, what are they doing? Like,
How?
you're on a straight.
MG Dan weaving a little bit. Okay,
Right,
he
like,
is
there's-
gonna
it's
get
so
a little bit
wide.
now. Oh no! Oh no! And we were on board with that. We saw every bit of that.
If I was
MG
Ace,
Dan
I would be so
getting a
mad.
little
Someone
bit
had to
of
time me out in the
there.
chat because I would be so livid.
Has Ace raced since? Shoot.
Yeah, he did.
He
Did
a
tier 4.
going off the track. We
I
have
think.
3 drivers going 3 wide in that
This,
turn.
oh yeah, that one was wild. That's an airborne crash.
Whoa!
That's some sim damage right there, taking its toll. There's a car stuck in the air right there. That Haas is twerking in the air.
They are fully in the wall.
That's a nice one.
Anthony's.
That was
I
a good
love
one.
it.
So good. Oh man, no assist here has not disappointed at all. It's been so
No.
fun.
It sure has.
Well,
Been
speaking
some
of
really exciting races.
speaking of fun tiers,
Yeah. Let's
get
get
to
into the big boy.
yeah, tier 1, baby. So,
So-
Midnight, take us away.
Yeah. I mean, we got the finalized stewards report. Only 7 points separating first and third in this drivers championship. Xylo with 65 points, Giants fan with 59, and Bops with 58 right in there as well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And 6 teams, six teams, count them, have a good shot at winning this at the championship. McLaren is that 6th team, and they're only down 25 points from first place. So things are getting pretty interesting in tier 1. I haven't been on the broadcasts with you these past the past few weeks, and I know we also had Yellow taking it last week at Portugal, and there was a lot of drama at turn 1, lap 1. But I mean, this is turning out to be another nasty just season for tier 1 drivers. People aren't really loving it. I mean, how are you mentioning that with McLaren being that 6th team, only 25 points down from first place? I mean, things aren't looking all right. How are you feeling with your drivers there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling great. I think that the whole season, I know like some people are saying they're not loving it, which I understand because there are some people that are getting hilariously unlucky. And I've stopped mentioning them in commentary broadcasts because they got mad at me. They know who they are. But
Mini code.
yeah, exactly. So basically all of Aston Martin. And that being said, you know, I think that the rest of the championship has actually been really great. Like, it's been really fun to watch. It's hilarious to me. I watch the tier 1 chat pretty frequently because I need to know what's going on with these guys. And I swear, every single time Bops gets a good result, he says, "Put me down in tier 2." Like, what are you talking about, dude? You're literally still 3rd place. Still 3rd place. Like, after the first race, you have not lost that top 3. Like, that's crazy. So, with the level of competition that he's versing, yeah, that's nuts. I mean, obviously, Jack missing qualifying effectively for half the season has definitely helped. But other than that, it's been a sweet season. I think McLaren's still got a shot, for sure, at least for that top 3 of the championship. Absolutely.
Yeah, Zylo's bringing the consistency for sure these last 3 races with a 3rd place in Hungary and winning Miami and Portugal. I mean, he's cleaned things up since Singapore, and he had a DNF in USA. So I think Zylo and Giants fan are going to be dueling it out, and it'll be interesting to see if Bobs can hang around. But then, as we see some interesting drivers, and they're the ones who sit atop the Constructors Championship. Yellow Snowman and Sketchy Bull, they had a really nice race in Coda.
Yeah.
And they've surprised everyone like every now and then. So, I mean, yeah, Kamau, have you been watching these Tier 1 races closely?
Boy.
How are you feeling?
I don't miss any MRL race from Tier 5 to Tier NA because that's my Sunday. So,
Heck yeah.
trust me.
I love it.
And my TP and Sketchy Bull been like neck to neck in terms of the base of qualification, and I think the Yellow is more like a conservative driver, and Sketchy Bull is just unlucky because he got the pace to be on top right there. Because the first race he won it, I think, and I'm sure he got the pace as well. And I'm sure these two, if they do not DNF again, they're gonna be right up there because they are pretty much. They're gonna at least having in the top 5 every single race if they're not DNFing to be fair. So
Yeah.
I expect a lot from them. And our TP say today that he's gonna keep leading the team forward. So hey, we expect big from him too.
Yeah. That actually that brings me to a point that I wanted to mention. I don't think that any of these top 10 drivers, especially for sure the top 9, I think Gary's just barely a little bit too far out. That 8-point gap is just a little bit enough. But I don't think the top 9 for sure. None of them can afford to get a single DNF at this point.
Yep.
One DNF, in my opinion, and you've lost your shot at the championship. I think it's literally that simple. I think even a single point or 2 points keeps you into it, but if it's a DNF or a back 10, you're done.
Yeah.
So
It's
stakes are high.
crazy. Yeah, and it's crazy looking at the gap from 4th place to 9th. 36
It's crazy.
with Rich Sebi, and then 9th place Jack Ledford with 30 points. Only 6 points, and then there's Yellow Snowman, Zeech, Sketchy Bull, all in between. I mean, and as you mentioned, if they can keep performing, and as we expect, we know Jack is great, and he's going to be pushing out some top performances. If he doesn't pick up any more penalties, that'll be the thing to watch out for him.
It's big if.
And Mercedes. Mercedes is strong, right? Fnatic. I mean, you guys are running away with the entire MR league.
Yeah, and I think it's just a lot of us are kind of in the same mindset of just, doing the best we can really and not trying to I wouldn't say over push, but don't get too aggressive, kind of pick and choose your battles and just kind of play it smart. And then take advantage of people making mistakes in front of you, like that's just I think our motto kind of thing. And Estemba or Latifi, whatever you want to call him, and Zeech have been really consistent. They've been right up there, like the upper midfield. So yeah, they just got to keep pushing and keep going, and we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, fun fact: you guys and Ferrari are the only teams in Tier 1 that have both your drivers in the top 10. So, it's
consistency is key.
Yeah, it's working
It's
well.
fun.
Yep. So yeah, that's it's a little annoying, but it's quite impressive. So yeah, I think your guys' strategy is very good. Midnight, when you look at this Tier 1, lineup, there's the last 4 races of the season. What do you expect to happen with them? Who do you think is going to take it all?
I think Xylo's he's always been a strong driver. I mean, I know I want Giants fan to be up there finishing quick, but I just think Xylo's showing some really, really strong pace. And didn't Giants fan win the championship last year? So I don't think we're gonna have. I just don't think he'll have it in him to pull out back-to-back championships.
so?
I just
It's
tough.
If I recall correctly, we've only had one back-to-backer, and it's Drix.
Wasn't it Drix? Yeah.
It's the only one that's ever done a back-to-back. On 7 seasons, we only have one back-to-back championship.
And it makes sense it would be the most historic driver in our league.
Yeah, of course, our most successful. And it's not like he didn't have any tiers to promote himself because he was always tier 1. So he just destroyed tier 1 back to back. So yeah, he's pretty darn quick. Well, yeah, I think the rest of the season's gonna be pretty nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's gonna do it for us then here today. Thank you, Fnatic, Kamau, everyone who stopped by today. Yeah, we really appreciate the support as the debut mid-season review show. We hope you enjoyed the clips. We hope you enjoyed the discussions. We've got exciting races lined up for you all this Sunday, where all the tiers are going to be tackling Amola. Tier 5's kicking off the action at 2 p.m. Eastern. And if you're itching to get in some action right now, get in our Discord. There's some folks in the community who will be hosting a social race at Amola within the next hour or so.
Yep, it starts in exactly 1 hour.
Yeah, so hop in Discord, join the social race, say what's up. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.
Yes,
Appreciate you having me, guys.
of course. Yeah, come out, Kayla. Thanks for jumping in here. This is a blast.
That was nice, guys. I did enjoy it.
Yes, and more of these to come. So I'm excited to see everybody around. And yeah, guys, if you also want some more racing fix this weekend, since you're missing the F1 race, remember IndyCar got us Indy 500 qualifying session. So a little bit of fun. But yeah, let's have a wonderful Moose Day on Sunday. And thanks again, everybody. You guys are amazing. And yes. Oh wait, hey, you know what? We should give some love to NA before we get out of here. We absolutely should give some love to NA.
You're right.
Those are the real heroes.
Yes,
That was
I
the
don't know
one.
how they do it, especially like Yellow on controller. I don't know how you can do it. For me personally, I don't have the brain capacity to be able to sit there, do a 50% race, and then do everything manually on a controller. Wow. But
And
yeah.
it's crazy to me too. Not only does he do that, he switches from having all assists to no assists.
Right, exactly.
Like it's not like
Or
he's
from
just
tier
like
1 then to straight to the NA right afterwards as well.
yeah, he literally has like all the assists before he jumps into the NA race.
He's
And he still
insane.
wins. So yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to see once he finally turns off all the assists for his normal racing. I think he's gonna get up to that Xylo level. I really do. I really do.
Yeah.
He's a natural. Yeah, it'll be
He's
fun.
leading things right now. I know Chili's super quick too.
Yep.
And he's in second for that
Yeah,
one.
I think I'm probably bottom 5. Yeah, probably bottom 5. I'm glad that you didn't show the crash of me crashing in Miami because that was hilariously embarrassing. That was so funny. Wow.
Oh yeah.
That was brutal. Well, thanks again, guys. Yeah, you guys are all amazing. I'm excited for the rest of the season.
Heck yeah. Let's get on with it.
All right,
Let's
everybody.
go.
Be wonderful.
Let's
Have
go,
a wonderful rest of your night. We'll see you guys soon.